I would like to welcome everyone here tonight, those in the gallery and those in the virtual gallery. This council meeting is being live streamed. It will go onto our website and you can access that at a later date. So it will be live streamed to our website. I'd like you to stand for the acknowledgement of country. I would like to start the meeting by acknowledging and extending my appreciation for the Dja Dja Wurrung people, the traditional owners of the land we are standing on today. We pay our respects to leaders and elders past, present and emerging, for they hold the memories, traditions, the culture and the hopes of all Dja Dja Wurrung people. Now for the council prayer. Almighty God, we ask you to be present in this council, direct and guide our deliberations. We ask you to grant us wisdom and sensitivity as we deal with the business of Central Goldfields Shire. May each decision that we make advance the well-being of all our residents. This we pray. Amen. Thank you. Item number 2 on the agenda is apologies. Both Councillor Long and Councillor de Villiers currently on leave. Item 3 on our agenda is declaration of conflict of interest. Councillors, do we have any conflicts of interest this evening?
No, thanks, mate.
No conflicts. No conflicts of interest this evening. Item number 4 on the agenda is confirmation of minutes from previous council meetings. Councillors, do we have a mover and a seconder?
I'll move.
Jeff?
I'll move with an amendment.
Councillor Bartlett?
Yes, I'd like to move the confirmation of minutes from the previous council meeting be moved with an amendment. It should be dated the 25th of June, not the 23rd.
So that will be noted. It should be dated the 25th of June, not the 23rd. Correct? Thank you. A seconder for that motion? Councillor Green. All those in favour of that motion? That is carried. Thank you. Number 5 on our agenda is minutes of delegated and advisory committees. There are no minutes from any of these committees tonight. Number 6 is petitions. A petition containing 1,397 signatures has been received. This will be considered later on in the agenda. Now we get to officers' reports. Number 7 on the agenda. 7.1, this is the first report on tonight's agenda, and that's entitled Draft Council Plan 2025 to 2029. Councillors, do I have a mover for this motion? Councillor Murphy. Do I have a seconder to this motion? And we need to alter a date in that. It was Wednesday. The recommendation should note on item number 5 of the recommendation the 22nd of October 2025, not the 29th. So getting back to the motion, Councillor Murphy, you're moving the motion. Councillor Marr, you're seconding this motion. Thank you very much. Any councillor against this motion? No. I will now put it to the mover. Would you wish to speak to this motion?
I'd just like to talk about the recommendation. I just didn't understand what the changes was in the recommendation.
The date was wrong. It's not.
Oh, it's Monday, is it?
It's the.
Anyway, it doesn't matter what day it is. It's the 21st.
It's this one down here. It's the 22nd instead of the 29th.
Okay. I'd just like to read the recommendation out, basically. So the recommendation, the council endorses the draft council plan for community feedback, gives public notice of the draft council plan, 25-29 on council's website, and invites written feedback from Monday the 1st of September 25 to the 21st of September 25. Notes in accordance with section 93 and 96 of the Local Government Act 2020, community feedback will be undertaken in accordance with council's community engagement policy. Notes that any person who provides written feedback in relation to the draft council plan 25-29 may be heard by council on Wednesday the 1st of October 25, and notes that the council plan 25-29 will be considered for adoption at the council meeting to be held Wednesday the 22nd of October 25 at 6 p.m.
Thank you, Councillor Murphy. And your second, Councillor Meyer. Is there anyone that is against this motion?
No, point of order. Can I come back and talk about the motion now? Is that all right?
You can.
Because I just done the recommendation.
Yes, you can talk to the motion.
Okay. It's important that the community get involved with this recommendation. It's important that the community get involved with the recommendation. They can provide feedback and know you can be heard at a council on Wednesday the 1st of October. And then giving feedback and be heard at the same time is important. So you can give feedback by putting a letter in or an email in, but coming here and giving feedback personally, sometimes it might be hard, but to us, the councillors, is very important because we get your emotions, we get what you're really saying, not just in the letter. The draft council plan is important for the next 5 years and needs some tweaking, and even from some of the councillors will probably need some tweaking. But this is now out to the community to come back and give us feedback. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Meyer, would you like to speak as seconder?
Yeah, I'd just like to harp on what Councillor Murphy just said. The more feedback we get from the community, the better this is for us. I'd like to see as many put in paperwork and come in and see us on that meeting and give us much feedback so we can tweak the things that we need to tweak and we can all move forward as a community. Thank you, Mayor.
Do we have anyone against this motion? No. Would any other councillor like to speak to this motion? Given there's no one against this motion, I will put that motion. All in favour? And that is unanimous. Thank you very much. Moving on to 7.2, the second report on tonight's agenda is draft financial plan and asset plan for community consultation. An officer's recommendation is on page 37. Councillors, do we have a mover for this motion? Councillor Green. Do we have would you like to read the recommendation?
Just if I may, firstly, refer to paragraph 5, the dates.
Same change.
Same change, so to the 27th of October.
22nd.
Pardon me. Yes, I propose to follow the officer's recommendation and read out that recommendation. And anticipate that, like the previous plan, that community engagement is welcome and encouraged. I'll read it. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. That the Council endorse the draft financial plan 2025 to 2035, attachment 1, and asset plan 2025 and attachment 2 to this report for community feedback. 2. The Council gives public notice of the draft financial plan, again 2025 to 2035, and asset plan 2025 on the Council's website, and invites written feedback from Monday the 1st of September this year until Sunday the 21st of September. 3. The Council notes that in accordance with section 93 and section 96 paragraph 1, subparagraph B of the Local Government Act 2020, Victoria. The community feedback will be undertaken in accordance with Council's community engagement policy. 4, the Council notes that any person who provides written feedback in relation to the draft financial plan, and again 2025 to 2035, and asset plan 2025, may be heard by Council on Wednesday, the 1st of October this year, 2025. And finally, 5, the Council notes that the financial plan 2025, again 2035, and asset plan 2020-25 will be considered for adoption at the Council meeting to be held Wednesday at 6 p.m. on the 22nd of October this year.
Thank you, councillor. Seconder for this motion? Councillor Murphy.
Yeah, I've got nothing to say.
Nothing to say. Anyone against this motion? Would any other councillors like to speak to this motion? Being no one wishes to speak any further, I'll put the motion. Those in favour of this motion? That is unanimous. Moving on to item 7.3, which is the third report in tonight's agenda, entitled Petition Seeking to Save the Maryborough Vic Road Service from Closing. An officer's report is on page 83. Councillors, do I have a mover for this motion? Councillor Murphy. I'd like to read the recommendation.
The recommendation, the council note the submitted petition and acknowledge the importance of the Vic Roads service to the local community, and will advocate with Vic Roads and the state government to retain the services at Maryborough.
Thank you, Councillor Murphy. Do I have a seconder for this motion? Councillor Bartlett. Councillor Murphy, would you like to speak to this motion?
Yes.
Is anyone opposed to the motion? No? Councillor Murphy.
This is read the petition for Vic Roads from the community. Pretty hard hitting. Vic Roads is the state government. They are the responsible body. Vic Roads in Maryborough is clearly the state government's responsibility. I understand the petition has now over 2,000 names as a council, and as a councillor, I will do all in my power. To keep a Vic Roads office here as it is now. What I don't understand as a councillor with Vic Roads and whoever owns the other half of it, which we'll come to that later, Ararat has a standalone office. Vic Roads, as I understand, they're keeping that. Why is that still there? Why aren't they pull their own funding from their own office? Why Ararat? Why Ararat? Why not Maryborough? Why Maryborough? Ararat's got 9 or 10,000. We've got 8,000 in Maryborough. We've got 13,000 in Shire. You've got about 15,000, 16,000, 15,000. I do not understand that. We must make the state government responsible. Say no to this outrageous stopping of pulling funding, and especially the services. We may be able to go to just a small agency, but the services go. Now, we have now over 2,000 petition people signing things. It's important that we've got the 1,437, so we can take that to the state government, take it to Vic Roads and advocate on our behalf. It's a big deal for the council, which is Maryborough's community, and the Central Gulf Shire's community, to find this fund, this money, which is out there, which could be $200,000. So where do you find that from? We have to work hard to get them to say we're keeping it, and then we have to work hard to see what we can do ourselves and where we could do it. Because sometimes something has to give. And if something has to give, it may be given somewhere else in our budget, But we don't want that to happen. Vic Roads, the state government have to be responsible for this. It's important. The Mayor said it very well in her article yesterday in the paper. It was a very good statement in the paper. Quite frankly, very, very proud of our councillor right now. I don't know, sometimes, I've been back in this community for 15 years. I've been here for sort of, I don't know, 9 years and moved on a bit and then come back in. But at the end of the day, I grew up here, I came back, but there's always something like this happening, and we've got to stand up and fight for these things all the time. And I hope my fellow councillors are in that fighting mode. Thank you.
Thank you, councillor Murphy.
Yeah.
Seconder?
Yes, Mayor, I'd just like to follow on from Gerard's very good points. Inform the community about the community angst. Vic's Roads was partially privatised by the Andrews Labor government in 2022, raising approximately $7.9 billion to pay off COVID debt. The Treasurer at the time, Tim Pallas, said that the state government will continue to control the data, privacy provisions and essential fee prices. And we will recommence all operations after the partnership ends in 40 years. So that's in 2062. It's a 40-year partnership. But he was adamant that it wasn't the privatisation. And as we know, the issue is causing much angst in the community, and the community, rightfully so, deserve to know what has brought this on from Vic Roads and their owners, the private consortium made up of Aware Super, the Australian Retirement Trust and Macquarie Asset Management. One has to question the consortium's moves. Are they profiteering? Well, who knows? Anyway, we'll just have to wait and see the outcomes of the various scenarios and reviews that our officers are working on at the moment. Another couple of points I'd like to make is an article from the Australian Financial Review on the 1st of July 2022. The reporter states that the Victorian opposition also criticised the move, describing it as a fire sale to pay for record debt. No one would buy Vic Roads in this way unless they planned to make money from it, Treasury spokesman David Davis told reporters. He claimed the move will mean higher prices for registration and licences and impact on family budgets, and we certainly can see that that may happen here. The Victorian Greens also accused the state government of putting profit over people. So, just as a note from my own research today, it's those three superannuation companies or asset management groups. In 2022, when it was privatised, they had $1.123 trillion under assets. And they've grown $338 billion in the last 3 years to $1.461 trillion. Yet they're squibbing on 200,000. So we as a community need to join together and fight this as much as we can. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, councillor.
And well done to the officers too for their excellent work so far.
Thank you, councillor.
Thank you.
Any other councillors wish to speak on this motion?
I'd like to speak, if I may, Mayor,
Councillor Green?
in support of my colleagues. It seems to me that country people are copying it left, right and centre from many quarters, and this is another one. We need to stay strong, help each other. Tonight is not just one agenda item. The council is making ongoing submissions, and I'd be happy to hear from anyone with their personal submissions as well. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that this petition, thank you, is ought not be the end of our efforts. Because once these institutions go, they're very hard to get back. So I think the time to make strong submissions, be successful, is now. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, councillor. Given there was no one against, Councillor Meyer, would you like to speak?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to support what you wrote in the paper yesterday. It was amazing. And I'm also behind all of our fellow councillors as well. Not only this for our council, but it's also for our kids. Our kids are going to lose where they can learn to drive. Our kids are going to lose an asset. If we lose this now, it's going to be like Ben just said. It's going to be so hard to get this back in our shire. But on with Gerard, they can go down there and spend a massive amount of money on machete bins. Why can't they give us the 200,000 for our big roads? It's more important than sticking something in a rubbish bin. It's a waste of time. It's the country people who miss out on this. And this isn't going to just affect us, it's going to affect others' lives. Driving schools, our kids, our future, even the police force. Where are they meant to hand their number plates in? Bendigo, Ballarat. Get your defects off your cars. You've got to go drive even further with a defected car to go and get it checked. And if it don't pass, you're driving a defected car even further. So I support Madam Mayor. Your article was amazing. Support Peter coming out and fronting the media as well. We've got a great CEO. Got a good community, guys, and we've got to stick together and fight this today. Everyone should be out the front of that office down the road.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam.
Thank you. Given there's no objection to this, there's no questions from the gallery, I'm sorry. Given there was no objections to this motion, I will put the motion all in favour, and that is unanimous. We're moving on to, pardon me, item 7.4, which is the fourth report on tonight's agenda, and that is entitled Council Plan Action Plan Quarter 4. And that is an officer's recommendation, which is on page 85. Councillors, do we have a motion for this item, please? Councillor Meyer, would you like to read the recommendation?
Recommendation that council note the council plan and your action plan for quarter 4.
Thank you. Do we have a seconder for this motion? Councillor Murphy. Do we have anyone against this motion? No. Councillor Meyer, would you like to speak to this motion?
Yeah, this is pretty easy, pretty simple one, guys. The report provides council with an update on the status and action identifying in the council plan and in action plan 24 and 25 for the fourth quarter ending the 30th of June 25. It's great to see so many green dots going on in this that are getting done. The council have been working hard. Our gardens are probably one of the nicest in Victoria as well. That's all.
Thank you, Councillor Meyer. Would any other councillor like to speak to this motion?
No.
Given there's no objection to this motion, I will put the vote all in favour. Again, that is unanimous. Thank you very much, councillors. We're moving on to item 7.5, which is the fifth report in tonight's agenda, and that is entitled Updated S5 Instrument of Delegation, the Council to the CEO. An officer's recommendation is on page 98. Do I have a mover for this motion?
Yes.
Councillor Murphy.
I'll read it all out because there's a lot in the gallery. The recommendation. In the exercise of the power conferred by S11(1)B of the Local Government Act 2020, the Act, Central Gosford Shire Council resolves that there be delegated to the person who holds the position of acting in or performing the duties of the Chief Executive Officer, the powers, duties and functions set out in the attached instrument of delegation to the Chief Executive Officer, subject to the conditions and limitations specified in that instrument. The instrument comes into force immediately upon the resolution being made and is to be signed by the Council's Chief Executive and the Mayor. So, on the coming into force of the instrument, all previous delegations to the Chief Executive Officer are revoked. And the duties and functions set out in the instrument must be performed, and the powers set out in the instrument must be executed in accordance with any guidelines or policies of council that it may from time to time adopt.
Thank you, councillor Murphy. Do we have a seconder for this motion? Councillor Green,
Yes, thank you.
would you like, is there anyone opposing this motion? Would you like to speak to it further, councillor Murphy?
Yes, when you read this and you say, well, this is a fair amount of money for the CEO to have at their fingertips, but it isn't. This has been like this for years and years. Not just here, at all councils, we have to have the CEO have the power to be able to do things so we don't go, oh, I have to wait for a council meeting to do something. Like when we had the fires in Lexington, we had to set up Princes Park. We have to actually physically have the money to do it. We know we're going to get money back eventually, but we have to do it. And there's things that have to be done sort of on the spot, but also there's things like small tenders, bigger quotes, $50,000 quotes, tenders of $300,000, still will come through the council. We'll still talk about it, but it's a delegation because it just moves the instrument moving forward. We can't go over $500,000. It can go up to $500,000, but if we have to find another $50,000 over $500,000, it has to go to the council group. And then there's the one about the $2 million for the state levy fund, which is the only thing that's really changed there are the words, which now it says Emergency Services and Volunteers Fund Levy, and there's a $2 million. But that's because we have to pay the state government. And it's like, oh, we've got the money in, now we pay them out. Got the money in, now we pay them out. And that's really an instrument that means it doesn't need to come to council but it's important to know that part of that job is the state government, state levy fund. So I recommend this. It's really no change to what it was the last 4 years or 4 years before, or when I was somewhere else before that. And Bullock will have the same, Pyrenees will have the same, but that may not be 500, might be 400. Someone else might be $1 million. So I gladly put this forward. Thank you.
Thank you, councillor Murphy. Councillor Green, would you like to?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd just like to add on from Councillor Murphy's points that there's nothing in the thresholds here, there's nothing remarkable. In other words, the sums are similar sums to other councils. And that's all I wanted to say. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, councillor Green. Given there's no one against this motion, I will put the motion. Those in favour? That is unanimous. Thank you very much. We now move on to item number 8, councillor's report and reports and general business. I do believe we have one councillor who wishes to stand and speak. Councillor Green.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd just like to move a motion that we offer our condolences to the families, friends, colleagues of the slain police officers and wish, so I'm very upset, and speedy recovery for the injured officer. It's a disgraceful act of fatal violence, brings us all down, so tagged on us all. And so I wish that the council provide condolences to Victoria Police and also to our local police in our area here. Thank you.
Thank you, councillor Green. Anyone other councillor wish to speak to this? Is there a seconder to this motion? Councillor Meyer.
For those that don't know, one of the officers that was shot actually did his time here. He served at Maryborough. He served many years at Maryborough. He was a true person of the Maryborough community. He lived here. He came over here from Germany. He spent a lot of time with our fellow officer out at Denali at the moment and his wife, and I give my condolence to the Maryborough officers that taught this young lad what he knew. And for the other one, well, my heart breaks for everyone. So with Ben, we've lost one of our own today that was here. He did his first days out here and learnt from the best of we have here. So,
Thank you, Councillor Myers. Would anyone else wish to speak to this motion? Councillor Murphy.
It's amazing how we have this thing separation, how where things affect us, but it really affects us here in this way because it affects us because we've had police officers shot in a line of duty here. Mr. Moore, and his wife comes and swims at the swimming pool still. She'll be hurting today. And those things, we're here, these things do happen. But I think a lot of our communities could go, well, we can see that. But this 35-year-old guy, man, he was a member, and I'll say, he's a member at the Leisure Centre. And he came up and he was here for a couple of years, a member for a couple of years. Lovely boy, lovely. And because it affects, you can see this. And we're up at the centre today and the staff were teary about it too. They say, this is a person. But it affects all of us. And as Ben says, is that we have to stick together for the whole of the police community. Thank you.
And the community as a whole. Thank you. Councillor, you wish to speak?
Violence serves no one, Mayor, that's all.
Thank you very much. Well, given that, we'll put this to a vote, the acknowledgement and a letter sent out and signed. All in favour? That's unanimous. And I think it's unanimous by the whole community. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
We'll move on to item number, I've lost my train of thought now. Item number 9. Yeah, notice of motion. There is no notices of motion. Item number 10, urgent business. There is no urgent business. Number 11 is confidential business. There is no confidential business tonight. And number 12 brings us now to the meeting closure. I want to thank you all for coming tonight. It was a very special meeting, I believe. They're all special, but tonight was in particular. So thank you very much for coming out into the cold. Thank you, councillors. I declare this meeting closed. Thank you.
Thanks, Grace.